equal opportunity to educate ourselves, to be free, to rise above
We're putting on this candidates form. It's a different type, but we put one on previously for Assembly and other congressional district representatives. So this one is for the communities that we represent. Now, an interesting thing is that we were able to get most of the candidates, or many of the candidates, but just for information, is that because we have been formed since 1977 in this area, but we represent Temecula, Murrieta, Wildomar, Menifee, and that is Sun City, so we get that confused. Lake Elsinore, Paris, Corona. And the interesting thing about this is that each of those areas have city council. So we are fortunate enough to have, for the first time, some representatives from Corona that are competing for city council positions. The mission of the N.A.A.C.P is to ensure political, education, social, and economic equality of rights of all persons. And we hope or try to eliminate any racial bias or discrimination. Our objective today is to get information to those individuals in the community who have an interest in what you're doing as city council.
Thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate that. Good afternoon, everybody. As Mary said, my name is Tim Sheridan. I am a candidate for Congress in California's 42nd District, although that's not an issue here today. I am here to outline the rules for the candidates and also introduce each of the candidates. First, let me say that the candidates will have up to 5 minutes each to tell all of us a little bit about themselves and to tell us why they are running for re-election for the city council position that they are a candidate for. And let me introduce each of the candidates. We'll start at my far right, Kevin Button, who is running for Corona City Council. Yeah, that's Kevin just down there. Okay.
You got it right.
All right, thank you. Say A when I call your name. Steve Ruth, who's also running for Corona City Council. Daryl Hickman, who is running for Lake Elsinore City Council.
I'm here.
Thank you. Rick Morsch, who is running for Lake Elsinore City Council.
Hello, everyone.
Brian Tisdale, who's running for Lake Elsinore City Council.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Matthew Alvarez, who is running for Murrieta City Council. Brian Barton, who is also running for Murrieta City Council.
Good afternoon.
Ruth Ann Taylor Berger, who is running for Murrieta City Council. C. Kent Leeper, who is running for Murrieta City Council.
Glad to see you here. You can call me Kent.
Okay. And Alan Long, who is also running for Murrieta City Council. Cecilia Nelson, who is running for Temecula City Council.
Hi.
And Matt Ron, who's also running for Temecula City Council.
So I will make a decision on terms of who's going first. And I'm going to pick on Matt Ron. Now, the questions that we have in each, I will repeat the question for each candidate, but each candidate will have the opportunity to provide information about themselves and then information about why you're running. Let's start with Matt.
My name is Matt Ron. I'm a candidate for Temecula City Council. I've been working for nearly 20 years now in higher education research and in public policy and land use. And a little bit about myself, why I was interested in running, is because I've lived in Temecula for some time now, and I've seen the city change. The first project I ever worked on was about 2000, 99, 2000. And in that time we saw, just tremendous growth, but also a lot of people would say, I think, good planning and a really good leadership in the city as well. And so today we have high quality of life, we have issues related to public safety. And we also have this sort of desire of how do we move forward? You know, the city is 25 years old at this point. And so the question that really I get asked a lot is, what is your vision for the next 25 years for the city of Temecula? And so what I often tell folks is, you know, public safety, I feel, is the primary responsibility of a local government and your city. And so we need to be able to ensure that we maintain that public safety. Now, we've been able to manage that for 25 years, but the numbers are starting to slip a little bit, right? And we're starting to understand and see the results of that change. I'm happy to announce that I've been endorsed by all the law enforcement and fire officials in our region as a candidate for city council. And that means a lot to me because, let me tell you first, interviewing with the sheriff's department is more like an interrogation than an interview. But it's great because they ask you a lot of really important questions and really dig into, you know, what is your understanding about public safety and leading the community forward. The other area I'm very interested in is quality of life. You know, we have, I think, a superior quality of life in Southwest County, and we need to be able to maintain that. So the decisions we make today are fundamentally important to the quality of life that we're going to see over the next 25 years. Temecula at this point is about 85% built out. That means the last 15% that we have to make decisions on are going to do two things. One, it's going to protect the integrity and the identity of our history and our legacy that Temecula has. But it's also that last 15% to create the identity of what Temecula will be moving forward. And so a lot of what I would like to see the city focusing on are things like public education and higher education for our city. You know, like I said, I've spent 20 years in higher education, working as a researcher and an educator at universities. I've been honored to represent San Diego State University on a variety of issues, including the Liberty Quarry that some of you might have heard about over the last few years. That one ended well for us, but that was a difficult time. And that had a lot to do, the decisions we made on that land use and the positions that the university took had a lot to do about what we saw as the quality of life and how to protect the identity and integrity of our community. So bringing in and fostering higher education in the city of Temecula, I think, is a very important next step. And it's not just the traditional four-year programs in the universities, but all of the other things that come along with that. The portals to education from our high schools into higher ed, the jobs that come into your community, engineering, high tech, and so forth, to build those relationships with universities, right? So having been able to work in higher ed for 20 years now, I understand the challenges, I understand the need, and I understand the benefits that this brings to our community. So I'd really like to see that happen. The other thing that I'm very interested in is a transparent government and a very open and accessible government. And we see this a lot. We see people making records requests to our city and trying to get information. And sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. And so I think it's really important that as City Council, we foster an open dialogue and we foster better communication among our residents.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Again, thank you to our host today, N.A.A.C.P, Mary, Tim Sheridan, thank you all. I am Cecily Nelson. I have lived in Temecula now for 6 years, together with my husband. I'm originally from the Midwest. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I attended the University of Minnesota, where I obtained my BA, and then from there obtained both my MBA and Master of Science in Integrated Marketing Communications from Loyola University, Chicago. I mention that because I did so while working full-time. Like the others that you'll hear from today, I have an extensive experience in business development, marketing, and communications. I come from a family with a long history of service providers, both on my side of the family and my husband's, whether it be a representative of police and peace officers or the mental and general health professionals. So it's instilled in me in that this is exactly the position I'm seeking, in that it's a position of service. Definitely, it's just to lend voice and advocate for the diverse needs of our citizens, not only in the city of Temecula, but also our region, as reflected here on this panel and throughout our surrounding communities. I'm running because, like our current city council members and incumbents, I don't disagree with the job that has been done to date. They have managed the city very well over the last 25 years. I'm very proud to have spent 6 of them here. I've admitted previously that at first I didn't even know really where Temecula was on the map, and it was only by my husband's vision that I decided, okay, you know, let's do this. And I'm so glad I did. It's true that if you love Temecula and you put into it and make the investment into the city, that it will love you back, and you do see the fruit of those efforts. But while we've made strides, I think there's still a number of things that could be improved upon. Again, it's about what the next 25 years are going to look at. And for me, even ahead of you know, public safety and education and the like, I think the concern still is at this point bringing work to our area. We live in an area that is, I think, you know, it's not right that over 60% of our citizens are commuting to other counties, whether it be LA County, Orange County, LA County, San Diego. We are missing out on an important opportunity to improve that situation for our families, for the community. I also think it's a very important consideration as we look at succession, where the city is going, who's going to be here 25 years from now, our kids' kids, and making sure that they have the opportunities that, that we've afforded them now in current state, but that those are being preserved. And so for me, it's about the workforce and bringing those high-paying jobs, those jobs that are going to last, and that bring a different area of focus, different from that of, at least as far as Temecula is concerned, extending beyond that of tourism and making it seem as though we are a seasonable city. Temecula is every day, and there is no reason we can't start to communicate that to the external world in terms of how we make ourselves more attractive to the business community. It's my first time running for an official elected office, but I guess I wanted to mention the opportunity that it's not my first time raising my hand, and that I am, you know, have been trying to have more involvement in the city. As a realtor, I think that's important just because I'm dealing with people every day, average people like you and me, who are just only concerned about providing a roof over their families' heads and, you know, knowing where their kids are going to go to school and making sure that we can all continue to enjoy the area in which we live. So having served on the Wolf Creek HOA, I think that gives me some unique insight into what the needs are, and I'm looking forward to servicing those inquiries as we move forward. Thank you for your time.